Hey kiddos, happy lesson number 5. Last class we took a look at the hydrogen atom, different models of the atom, and how we can use Bohr's model as evidence for electrons acting like a wave and light acting like a particle to help explain emission and absorption spectrum. And again, we specifically looked at hydrogen as a simple model to conceptually consider. Okay, so today our goals are to debrief that simulation and then apply our conceptual knowledge to problem solving. All right, so Bohr used the photon model that Einstein came up with for light to help explain emission spectra. Remember, the photon model says photons have a specific amount of energy that's equal to hf, right? Which can also be written as Planck's constant times the speed of light over wavelength, which sometimes is more convenient, right? A photon acts like a particle, and so in this instant, light can act like a particle, giving its energy to an electron that's in a hydrogen atom, but it can also emit light that has a frequency. Okay. So some of the things that you should have seen in that simulation, let's bring up that simulation really quick. Okay, so you noticed that you can send different wavelengths of light, okay, and specific wavelengths of light would excite an electron to specific energy levels. Not once did you ever see an electron actually exist in between those energy levels. Okay. And also, an electron will never decay in the same pattern, predictably. But it always will decay back to the state that it was. Okay, and this is random, predictable that it will happen, but the pattern with which it will happen is not predictable. Okay. You may have also noticed these buttons on the bottom. Okay. You'll notice that all of the L buttons, we've got L alpha, beta, gamma, epsilon, delta, will take an electron. All of these will successfully excite an electron from the first energy level up to another one. Okay. L alpha will excite the electron to the first excited state. L beta will excite it to the second excited state, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's try something here. I asked you guys to come up with a combination of frequencies that you could send at the electron to excite it in a more complex way. So could we get an electron to the first excited state and then to the second excited state? Whoa, I pressed this H alpha button. And it turns out that the L buttons, those are called the Lyman series. They always excite an electron from the ground state. So L alpha goes from 1 to 2, L beta goes from 1 to 3, L gamma goes from 1 to 4, stuff like that. These H buttons, these are called the Balmer series, named after another scientist who discovered them. Okay, so all of the Balmer series will excite an electron in a hydrogen atom from n equals 2, right, the first excited state, up to another one. So watch this. I can excite it to the first excited state, n equals 2. And then if I hit H beta, it will be excited 2 more energy levels higher. Okay, if I do it again, excite to the n equals 2. If I hit H gamma, or sorry, delta, whoa, it excites it all the way up to the highest energy level on our simulation. And then it randomly decays back down, emitting photons, right, that have the energy of the difference between the two states that it's traveling from. Now, these P buttons, what did you notice about those? Well, hopefully you saw that these buttons could excite an electron from n equals 3. This second excited state, n equals 3, right? The third orbital up to any other orbital, right? Again, the alpha series will excite 1 energy level, beta will excite 2 energy levels, gamma will excite 3. So let's try it. Okay, so we want to get our electron to the third excited, or the second excited state, so n equals 3. So I'm going to hit L beta, and then P alpha, and it should jump up to the next one. Yay! Right, and then it de-excites. Let's try this again. L beta, get it up to n equals 3. And then P beta should have it jump 2 more energy levels. Ha, cool. And then its path down isn't always the same any 2 times that it's done. Okay. All right. So these P buttons, the series that excites the electron from n equals 3 up to any other, that's called the Paschen series, P-A-S-C-H-E-N, and it excites from n equals 3. Okay, so let's summarize that right here. Okay, so the Lyman series for hydrogen, remember this is specifically for hydrogen, Lyman series, that's like L alpha, L beta, L gamma, so forth, that excites from n equals 1. Balmer series, okay, excites from n equals 2, right? So any of those frequencies excite an electron in a hydrogen atom from the first excited state to any other. These are abbreviated with a capital H. Please don't ask me why. I do not know. That would be a good use of the Googles. All right. And then finally, the Paschen series, P-A-S-C-H-E-N series, excites from n equals 3. Cool. And those are abbreviated logically with a P. So P alpha, P beta, and so forth. Okay. Whoopsies. All right. So let's take a look at an example and see if we can apply these patterns to some problem solving. Okay. So remember we had this diagram previously of different energy levels labeled with which orbital they were described as. So n equals 1 is the ground state, n equals 2 is the first excited state, n equals 3 is the second excited state. And remember, you can calculate how much energy an electron has at any of these excited states or the ground state by just multiplying or taking negative 13.6 electron volts and dividing by which energy level the electron is squared. Okay, so here for the first, for the ground state, we can call this n equals 1, so E is equal to 1. That's negative 13.6 divided by n equals 1 squared, and we get negative 13.6 electron volts. We do that the same with n equals 2, energy at the second orbital. You should get negative 3.4 electron volts. And then n equals 3. E sub 3 equals negative 1.51 electron volts. Okay, so that goes right here. Okay, n equals 3, n equals 2, n equals 1. All right, and what I'm going to ask you to do is take a look at the 3 transitions I've got here. So an electron going from n equals 3 down to n equals 1, right? It'll be losing energy, and that energy will be emitted in the form of light. Okay. Remember the change, what we found is that the change in energy, right, the difference in the energy at n equals 3 and the energy at n equals 1 can be calculated. Right, you just subtract the energies at the different energy levels, and if you set that equal to HF, then you can get the frequency of light. Oftentimes, though, our brain has been trained to identify where in the electromagnetic spectrum that light is by looking at the wavelength, right? We have a sense that visible light is about 400 to 700 nanometers. Okay, so we can write this in terms of wavelength as well. hc, where c is the speed of light, 300 million meters per second, over a wavelength. All right, and then just a little bit more information so we don't have to do any unnecessary conversions. You can write Planck's constant as we have previously in joules, but you can also write it in, or joule seconds, but you can also write it in electron volt seconds, and it turns out that Planck's constant in electron volt seconds is 4.136 times 10 to the minus 15 electron volt seconds. All right, so what I'd like you to do for these 3 transitions from n equals 3 down to n equals 1, okay, if an electron goes from n equals 3 down to n equals 2 and emits a photon of light, or if an electron goes from n equals 2 down to n equals 1 and emits a photon of light, I would like you to calculate the wavelength of that light that is emitted and identify what region of the electromagnetic spectrum it's in. If it's visible, name the color if it's possible. And you should have a fairly decent sense what that should be, but the Googles would help you out also. Okay, so I'd like you to pause the video. Okay, I'm going to look at you for a second. I'm looking at you. Pause the video, please. Do the calculations, and then in a minute I will give you the answers, okay? All right, kiddos, those are the answers. From n equals 3 down to n equals 1 and n equals 2 down to n equals 1, you've got ultraviolet. And then 3 to 2, you should have gotten a red color emitted. Okay, finally, emission and absorption spectra. If we see dark places, that's where an electron has absorbed that energy from that wavelength of light. And a bright spot here is where it's emitting that wavelength of light. Okay?